Hi guys, thank you for having me today. My name is Mark from Cloudpick, and it's a great honor to be invited to speak on this 2-hour webinar. I'm here today to tell you about how the AIoT and AI will help the e-retail industry in the soon coming future. And again, my name is Mark, and I'm in charge of global business development. So a bit quick introduction about ourselves. You know, we're an AI company, and it's our core competence to develop AI algorithms. By including AI key technology as well as sensor fusion, we have been, able to offer this unmanned solution in the retail application scenario, right? So the company was founded in 2017. Back then we first set up the Alpha Store, the very first POC of the company, and soon after that we started the expansion and applying the technology to real world scenarios. Until today, 4 years later, we have landed more than almost 200 stores in 12 different countries throughout the world. So that is quite remarkable progress for us, and some of the stores that we have worked with is from big clients, and they pretty good feedbacks and reflections from the performance that we're seeing in those scenarios. So here we have Lido from Germany, and Ocean. The Ocean store was launched only 2 weeks ago. Cheers at the beginning of 2021 in Singapore. This particular POC store for Cheers was actually in Tampines Hub. South Korea, we've been working with Shinsegae as well as Emart24. We set up store. Actually, till now we have collectively 8 stores in Singapore already. This particular one is from NUS, the university. And WePick is a brand that we have invested by ourselves here in China, and we have roughly 6 stores, self-operated store in Shanghai, and So a quick introduction about the company itself and kind of solution that we offer. So first of all, we offer a turnkey solution, right? Greenfield operations, whereby if you look at the particular store picture here, we're offering everything that you see, right? Including the speed gate, the turnstiles, the IoT machine selling ice creams or coffee over here, the shelves, the fridges. By fridges, we're talking about open chillers, closed door chillers, and closed door freezers. So the reason why we have to offer this on the ground fixtures is that these fixtures are retrofitted with weight sensors, which will become an essential element of determining the nature of the products when we're going through the store operations. And in the air, on the ceiling, you can see there are a number of cameras, right? So we have 2 types of cameras. One is high definition cameras, which is designated to look at the appearances of the particular products, by understanding their color, shape, pattern, size. In combination with the weight element, we're able to accurately define the nature, which SKU it is. So another type of camera is the smart sensors. We use them to track and understand the ligaments and the gestures of the customers within the store. So, we'll be tracking the customer as soon as they enter the store through the gate, understanding their movements in the store and whenever they're picking up items, and we understand what the item is. Therefore, we're able to combine all that information and to understand which particular client or which account has picked up which item, right? And when they come out the exit, we're able to send the bill to them and they'll be charged automatically. So that is a very off the bat kind of a solution that we offer. So this is basically giving you an overview of the typical shopping procedure and the way how the system works inside a Almond Store of ours. The customer will first come to the store. Upon first arrival ever, they'll probably have to scan a QR code to download an app, enter their phone number for OTP verification, which is considered as an account registration. And the next step, so there are only two steps. One, account registration via your mobile number. Second, bind your payment method, whether it's PayPal or Apple Pay or credit card, so online payment method or some kind of e-wallet. And that's it. After these two steps, a QR code will be generated on the screen of the app, and then you'll be able to use that app to scan on the turnstile, which lets you in, right? So as soon as you get into the store, you can put away your phone, and you can do all this normal shopping activities as if you are anywhere at home, per se. And then after you're done, you can put it in your bag or your shirt, your pockets, whatever. And then when you leave the exit, through the exit, the virtual shopping carts will be checked out automatically and you'll be billed, right? So that's a very straightforward, simple shopping procedure. There's no, it's completely frictionless. So there's no stoppage, there's no scanning, second scanning, or putting items anywhere, checking the bills or whatever. So just leave the store, right? So what values? Okay, before we go into this slide, let's have a look at how the 3D computer vision is working. So at first, you can understand the smart camera part. So we're understanding the movements of a human being, right? Whether the gestures, if they're standing up, jumping, lying down, lying sideways, and we're able to understand the postures and or the activities of the limbs. So it's important to note that there's no particular personal information such as facial information is collecting in this instance. So we're just understanding how people are moving inside a 3D environment, right? So if you consider this part as the the store forefront, right? And then this two people are moving inside the store and we're never losing track of them because the whole shopping area is covered by the smart cameras. Basically, we're understanding how they're moving. And then lastly, here we're able to understand what each of the product looks like, right? And in combination, we're able to recreate this 3D environment just like this, right? We're creating effectively a digital twin of the physical environment as well as the people inside the environment. So what values are we bringing to the retailers or our customers? So first of all, initially it seems like we're just offering a very preliminary kind of service whereby unmanned checkouts, cashierless shopping, or it might look fancy, so people might save time, but that is the very primary or very superficial kind of functionalities or values that we look at bringing. But deeper inside, we're hoping that we can bring to retailers more values that will affect their cost as well as revenue. So in turn, profitability and operation of store. So number one, we're able to help them to select and optimize their product selections. So not just understanding what has been sold, but also understanding what has been touched or observed, right? Interacted is a good clue for retailers to maybe optimize their SKU selections. By understanding what people are doing inside the store, how they're traveling, we're able to optimize the store layout, shelf allocations, assortment plans. For example, where exactly are you placing each of the SKU, whether it should be on the bottom level or on the top level based on a number of interactions again. Digital signage, the utilization of digital signage such as LCD screens or the ESLs. Effectively, since we're able to understand real time what people are doing, so effectively we can bring the store alive and to interact with the customers in a sensible way, right? Pricing and marketing is by understanding the because effectively we're creating an ecosystem, right? Understanding people's what have they shopped, what kind of stuff that they like. We're able to offer them remotely, coupons or bundle deals, right? Discounts, and if we have something new or something that we think they might like, we can also promote it to them to bring them back to the store. Likewise, by understanding the preferences of the customers, we're able to bring very personalized marketing materials to them through the LCD screens or audio inside the store. Sales forecast and automated order placement. So, since we know what's missing very on exact level, we're able to effectively send restock notifications and then go through the supply chain. So this number 7 and number 9 is somewhat correlated. Number 9 sends a replenishment reminder to the storekeeper or the operator to bring in the particular stuff that's missing on a timely notice. For example, every morning at 6 a.m., they will give the storekeeper a list of items to bring to store. And number 7, by integrating with the supply chain management system, we're able to generate sales forecast and automatically place orders directly with the supplier system, right? The vendors or the retailers. Real-time shelf display and notifications. This is how we're using the shelf displays to interact by playing adverts in correspondence to the activities, such as a pickup of an item, or if someone has entered the shopping area. Seamless payment, this reduces the queuing time, and then basically nobody can actually steal from our store. And online, offline order and placement, this again also helping to bring efficiency to the store by understanding it's omni-channel sales, understanding online data, and then offline sales can be forecasted and promoted in a very similar fashion based on the online data. So 13 and 14, so basically creating a conclusive and wholesome ecosystem, we're able to understand how the store is performing and to understand why things are happening and to make corresponding recommendations. And number 14 is, one thing, the memberships. So someone who has signed up for offline store, when we go through the store, you have to register for app, right? So this kind of membership can be brought to online and to stimulate secondary sales or shopping second time. So basically, through all those values that we're creating, effectively we're able to create a closed loop for a shopping journey, right? So before the customer comes, right? So we can tell him on the store, on the app, that the store is on, some things are on sales, perhaps something that you would like is on sale or something new is on offer. And then when they're coming into the store, we're able to interact with them using digital signage or advert playing. And during the visit, we're able to either interact through real-time coupon issuance or LCD screens, and to understand which items. And in the near future, we're even able to utilize AR technology to guide the customers through the shopping journeys, right? And then after they've done, if they haven't, for example, if the particular customer hasn't come back, in a while, we're able to understand we're kind of losing this customer, right? There might be things that we can send to him to bring him back into the store, right? So basically, we're creating a closed loop for the customer sales or shopping journey from before and after. Not whilst in a traditional brick and mortar store, most of the interaction is only happening maybe perhaps at the point of checkout, right? So here is a video of one of the references that we have. This is one of the very first stores that we have launched in the US, and the customer is a Hodel Hayes. The sub brand for it is Giant Food, right? So in RBS is as it previously showed, a subsidiary of Hodel Hayes. So basically, the store is located within the headquarters of the Boston office, and it's located at the basement, so that basically everyone working in this building can come down and grab a quick bite or refreshments whenever it's needed. Okay, so after the deployment of this very first store, it's so to a certain extent, it's semi-public, right? So it's not public in a way that everybody from the society, community can visit it, because it's located within the headquarters. But it's a real operating store whereby all the customers within the staff, the employees of Hodel Hayes is able to visit the store and to actually buy stuff. And soon after this this particular store that was launched in Boston with Hodel Hayes, they quickly rolled out 4 more stores with us in the US. Okay, and here is one of the reasons why I'm invited to this this webinar. It's we have a very strong synergy with Tuya, because Tuya is effectively, helping the retail sector creating not only creating the commercial lighting and basically able to creatively generate this nice and cozy shopping ambient within a storefront. So, and not to mention that Tuya has a great they're creating platform for retail to happen, right? So. And we have recently launched this this public store in Shanghai, Oriental Sports Center, which is a great spot. It has more than 4 subway lines, so it has a tremendous amount of footprint near the area. And the store was recently launched a month ago, and it's open to public now. Lastly, it's important to mention that what I've been mentioning or talking about is mainly I'll play the video, the Almond Store part, right? So computer vision is our main competence. Now, by utilizing that technology inside a fridge, let's say, a normal fridge or a cabinet is revolutionary. So effectively, we're turning a simple fridge, just like this, into a vending machine, right? By inserting cameras. So as the same procedure, same shopping procedure as a Almond Store, people will scan the QR code, download the app, do the registration, do the account, the payment binding, or alternatively, if they don't want to do that troublesome procedure, they probably just use a credit card to swipe, right? And this will unlock the door. Effectively, basically, this procedure, just like the Almond Store, it will register with us which account is doing the shopping, right? So the door will unlock. You are able to pull open the door and to buy the products. So this is great in a way that not only we're able to, it's basically disruptive in the vending machine industry, because number one, we're able to sell a large variety of items that were not supported in the traditional vending machines. Second, we're able to understand what is needed real time inside the fridges, so that we can plan and optimize the restock routes and to save cost. And we understand the interactions between the customers and the products, which was unprecedented in the traditional vending industry. We're able to allow customers to interact with the products before they make the final purchasing decision, whereby in the traditional vending machines, there is always a glass door barrier between the customer and the products, right? There's no look and feel. So that's why we call it the cool binette. Feel the cool before you buy it, right? So it's so far this product line has been launched for 2 years, and we have already signed up more than 12 super cool and big brands that have great interest in this product. And frankly speaking, they are right now testing the POCs, and there will be soon a massive rollout in the near future, I believe. So that's pretty much everything I've got. And thank you again for having me on this webinar. So if there's any inquiries about the technology or questions about Cloudpick or for me, please feel free to either email to info@cloudpick.com or contact us on social medias, and we will get back to you in no time. Thank you again, and have a pleasant day. Thank you.
It's great pleasure to be on site again today. So right now I can see there are a few questions that we can see from the chat box. So let me address them. And if you do have any more questions, feel free to pop it into the conversation box or the Q&A little box underneath. So number one, how much is the store cost? That's a very sensitive question. And on average, so I'm going to give you the average, right? And after I'll deep dive into how we normally charge and price things. So on average, from a per square feet or per square meter, so 1 square meter is roughly 10 square feet. Per square meter wise, we're talking about roughly $2,000 per square meter in terms of implementation cost. And how is that derived? So first we, as I mentioned in the video, we provide everything, right? The shelves have special sensors in them, therefore we have to provide the shelves as well as the fridges, the cooling and freezing equipments, as well as the camera, servers, speed gates, etc. So the hardware is everything included, and then you divide that to the size of the store. So that would derive roughly 2,000 square USD per square meter, and then we will charge a software fee on a yearly basis to make sure that which entails services such as customer support, software maintenance, and Q&A, operational services, and also most importantly to host the cloud services, so that the AI system and algorithms is constantly running, right? The shopping results are consistently delivered. So yeah, but the software service fee is rather in comparison very little in comparison to the initial investment from the hardware side. So it also varies depending on the size of the store. Roughly, we're talking about 50 USD per fixture. So the bigger store you get, the more fixtures that you have. So 50 USD per fixture per month, right? The second question is the limitation on floor size. So technically, from a technological point of view, the technology is capable of supporting anything up to 1,000 square meters. But talking from experience and our conversations with retailers in real life, we don't see a financial advantage in terms of setting up this kind of frictionless shopping experience in a big format like such, right? So we think from a practical point of view or economic point of view, the more suitable size to set up a frictionless store or Almond Store would be still in the convenience store format. So anything less than 200 square meters, right? So or 2,000 square feet. And the second part of that question has already been discussed: the cost of setting up an e-store. Can people jump over the security barrier, and what if the SIM card or the phone is stolen? So I don't think, number one, I don't think people will steal the SIM card from your phone, right? They'll probably just take the whole phone. And number two, it is correct if the phone is stolen and the thief actually knows that you have this app installed, um, you know, they can effectively turn on the app and the QR code is present, and you can scan the QR code and enter the store, right? But effectively, nowadays, with this kind of IT prevalence, whereby everyone is, paying online, connected to their credit card or debit card, you have online wallets, etc. So when you have your phone stolen, I think the number one thing that you would probably do is to block all the payment methods, right? Perhaps PayPal and credit cards, etc. Because most of your information, personal information, sensitive information, are all stored on the phone. So I think effectively, a phone stolen does potentially mean that they can shop inside the store with your phone, um, because everything is registered. However, if this is so first of all, we have never seen this before. Um, but if this does become a real problem, what we can do, however, is to set in the software, the app. This, as you can see in the video, people have to go into a store with the app, right? Um, what we can do is to set in the app that the your automatic log out from the software, at different time intervals. So, if a person steals your phone and he wants to open up the app, it's probably required for him to, put in some kind of biometric, whatever, however you want to log into the app. And I think the first part of the question is actually more interesting. Can can people jump over the security barrier? Yes, technically yes. So as you can see in both of the stores, that's been actually we've shown three stores, right? One with Tuya, and one with a whole delays, and one with Fair Price in Singapore, right? All those stores are operating completely 100% unmanned, right? It's running 24/7, and there is no cashier there to, let's say, observe and support people. So technically speaking, you are able to jump over the security barrier. However, since the technology is all about computer vision and motion detection, so when people do jump over the barrier or force enter the barrier, for example, by pushing the gate, um, an alert will be sent to our customer support team, right? Just like if anything is offline or is broken, so we'll be able to detect the heartbeat of the equipment. So there will be an alert sent to the customer support team, and this is why we're charging the software service fee. Um, we will be able to detect that someone is inside the store, um, and we understand what he's doing, because we understand the movements and the gestures of people, and however, with that particular person, there is no account ID registered, right? So effectively, we can see someone going over the gate. It's a little, if you imagine, it's like a matchstick kind of figurine, and there's no ID or account ID or transaction ID associated with that little figurine. So that is a forced or invalid illegal entry per se, and then we can inform the retailer immediately, and it can be reported to the police. For this, it has happened before a couple of times, right? And the police was informed immediately, and then files has been reported. So the second case, phone stolen, never happened before. People jumping over the barriers, it has happened before. And also, and as something that we can do to impede, to stop this kind of jumping over or forced entry from happening, is to implement security sirens. For example, if we detect a invalid entry, the siren will sound, the alarm will sound, and also like speeches or dialogues can be recorded saying, you have just jumped in, please get out, right? Or please correctly scan your QR code, right? So the next question, how long does it take between a customer take good and finish payment? Very good question. So we are able to guarantee 70% of the orders are being paid up and generated as receipts within 10 seconds, right? Because if you think about it from a technical point of view, you go into the store as a customer, and the account number has been captured, right? And it's being correlated to that particular customer. And then we'll be tracking the actions of the customer inside the store, and we'll be creating the virtual shopping cart, right? And when people come out, the system identifies that the customer has finished the shopping journey, right? And since we know the account number and its associated payment method, we can send a token to the payment company and they can deduct the money from the account for us, right? So that is a sequential kind of activities happening between different I'm sorry for my my colleagues just jumping. It's a sequential kind of activity happening between different APIs, and so uh, but through all these interactions between different systems, we're able to generate the virtual shopping cart as well as finishing the payment, taking the money within 10 seconds. And whose cloud service do you use works well in Russia? It depends. So we have a partnership with Huawei as well as Microsoft Azure. So for Europe, for Singapore, we're using Huawei at the moment. But for rest of the world, we're collaborating with Microsoft Azure, and it works pretty well. And in the company base, only computer vision, uh, what regions are covered. Uh, so the company is based. You mean the technology? The technology is not just computer vision. It's I would say AI as well as IoT as well as sensor fusion. Okay, so those are because we have to. It's computer vision is utilizing AI algorithm to understand what's being captured by the videos and cameras, right? But being able to use this data and correlate this data with other information such as the weight of the products is IoT and also sensor fusion, and being able to integrate the system with other third-party devices such as machines, vending machines, or let's say ice cream machines or coffee machines. That'll be IoT, right? So there are different kind of technologies used in our solution, and what regions are covered. As I mentioned, I think I mentioned in the video that we have deployed stores for clients over 13 different countries. So most of the continents we have clients based in them already, right? From ranging from South America to North America to Europe to Middle East to Asia, Southeast Asia. So yeah, we're pretty well deployed, and that means we have not only sales but also installation support. Um, yeah, and what payment system do you use and approve? In terms of payment system, we we don't provide the payment system because it's very sensitive to take money, right? So it's actually legally required from the government and the legal body to use a payment gateway, right? It's a banking system. So uh, as I mentioned, we use a token. We exchange a token with the payment systems or the third-party payment gateways, so that we know for each of the account we'll send a token to them and they know which account or which credit card we're talking about. So right now we are integrated with quite a few e-wallets as well as payment gateways such as Adyen, Payon, and in terms of e-wallets we're able to integrate with basically all the Linkaja, for example, GrabPay, and PayPal, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay. So most of the e-wallets or payment system, online payment system, we can or we can work with them. And just one last point about this question: it's important to understand, given the uniqueness of the shopping procedure, the customer walks out of the store and will take the money frictionlessly, right? For the retailer. So what that means is that this particular shopping journey or shopping experience will need the payment gateway or the payment company to allow frictionless or a password-free deduction of the money from the wallet. So which means it's like Uber, right? When you take a Uber, you probably register the card at the first time, and then ever since that you don't need to input the password for the usage of the car later on. So it's that kind of payment procedure. Um, can we arrange to have another one-to-one session if that's possible? Yes, yes. Google Pay, yes, we can integrate with that. So yes, we can arrange a one-to-one session. You can add me on LinkedIn, search for Cloudpick, or send an email to info@cloudpick.com, and you'll be able to they will be directing the email to me, or you can add me on LinkedIn. if you search for Mark Perry, and we also have a LinkedIn channel for Cloudpick as well. Let me just check. Yeah, no questions from Q&A box. So yeah, I mean, it's a great event. Thank you, Tuya, for organizing this, and I'll give you half a minute or a minute or a couple minutes to think about more questions for me, if you do have any. And just to all of you out there, thank you. And if you have a child with you, would they be able to enter the store without an account? Yeah, super good question, actually. So that actually triggers another unique functionality that we've got. So first of all, um, if you have child, not just if you have a child with you, but also if you have a friend with you, right? If they don't have an account and they don't want to go through the trouble of registering an account down in the app, buying, if they don't have a card, you can completely help them to go into the store. So what you do is that you use your app, you scan them in first, right? They'll go inside, and you'll scan yourself in right after. So the QR code, obviously the QR code will refresh every 5 seconds, right? But still, you can use the same app to scan multiple people into the store, and whatever they pick up is accounted to your card or your wallet. So we call that group shopping. So there is actually no upper limit to this kind of group shopping. You can literally scan 10 friends or 20 friends into the store, and whatever they get is on you. And what you could see in the video that we played at the beginning of the session, there was a facial recognition pad, right? So it allows people. Can you set? Yes, we can set spending limits. So let me just finish what I just mentioned. So we have this facial recognition pad which allows customers to upload their pictures, right? So obviously it's not compulsory. It's completely voluntary, and if you don't want, if you're worried about your personal information, and this, you just use a QR code. But if you want to be hassle free and perhaps not to bring your phone anymore, right, into the store, then you can upload your selfie. So what happens is that next time you come in, if you upload your picture, next time you come into the store, all you have to do is to look at the pad, right? And then the store will automatically open for you. So why am I mentioning this? Because this correlates to the child issue. So for kids, a lot of parents, they're stingy. They don't want to give their kids pocket money, or they don't have a cell phone, right? And or for elderlies, they don't know how to use the cell phone. They probably have one of those old Nokias, right? So what happens is that you can upload their pictures onto the phone, onto the app, which means that they are able to come into the store just by looking at the pad, right? So they don't have to bring a cash or card or phone, or nor for yourself. You could be miles away in your office, and then whatever they picked up is debited to you. So can you set spending limits? Yes, absolutely. So what happens is, from a store operation point of view, the retailer is able to set spending limits for each of the order. Like for example, a customer goes in, he picks up like a number of products. You can set a limit to that. If a particular customer picks up more than, let's say, 100 pounds or 100 USD, let's say, and then a notification or a spontaneous message is sent to the storekeeper to come in, because that's a lot of money, right? You want to see what's going on. Maybe that person doesn't have enough debits in the debit card. So we can set spending limit warnings, right? Because at the end of the day, we can't stop him from walking out the store, right? Because I think that to a certain extent that's illegal. But yes, we can set notifications, and also we can set a limitation to the number of people that goes into the store, and this becomes quite important during this special time of COVID, right? So if you have 4 people inside the store already, and then it happens to meet the maximum people allowed, then the 5th person cannot scan into the store until 1 person comes out, right? I'm convinced. Let's set up a store in Manchester. Yeah, let's do that. Reach out to me, and we'll talk more in private. And yeah, I used to live in Nottingham, which is almost just next to Manchester. Uh, and I think we do have a recording session for this session. And please reach out to Tuya, and they'll be able to share a recording of the whole session with you, right? So that's a lot of questions, and I hope that my answers has been clear and you guys were happy. All right. And yes, help Tuya to do better by filling a survey via that link in the chat box. Thank you very much. I hope I have addressed all your questions. How can one be a retail client? By reaching out to us. Reach out to us, and we'll talk about possible collaboration models. And because we need to know who you are, where you're from, and why you're doing this, and we can always find a way to support you. All right. Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time today, and thank you again very much for having me on this Tuya webinar. Thank you for Tuya for organizing this great event, and have a great day ahead of you. Bye-bye.